Tensions in the Middle East have prompted an emergency meeting in Cairo of the foreign ministers of Arab League nations. The gathering was convened at the request of Saudi Arabia, which wanted to discuss Iran and the Iran-backed Lebanese Hezbollah movement. Issa Ali connects the dots to the regional power struggle.
The background to this begins with the latest attempts by Saudi Arabia to really escalate their attempts to isolate Iran, which they accuse of being aggressive in the region. They say Iran is supporting a number of local regional players, groups like Lebanon's Hezbollah, and they accuse the Iranians of trying to interfere in Arab affairs. And it really comes against the backdrop of those rising tensions. It comes in the wake of even more open admissions, for example, by the Israelis. And we heard from the IDF Chief of Staff, Gadi Eisenkot, saying that Israel and Saudi Arabia were in complete consensus on the issue of Iran and what they see as the threat by Iran, and also with the Israeli military figure there saying that he was willing to share intelligence, and Israel's willing to share intelligence with Saudi Arabia, which would be something quite remarkable considering that collaboration between the two sides is now very open. And so this meeting held by the Arab League of Foreign Ministers yesterday was set up in that light to condemn both Iran and also Hezbollah here in Lebanon.
The silence over the brutal attacks of Iran through its agents in the region will not make any Arab capital safe from ballistic missiles.
I hope that the Iranians will change their policies and that they receive the message over Arab anger.
But not every Arab country sent their foreign minister. Iraq sent a deputy. Qatar, unsurprisingly perhaps, considering their tensions with Saudi Arabia, they also didn't send their foreign minister. In fact, just recently, the Saudi foreign minister accused Qatar of supporting what he said were terrorist groups. And Lebanon as well, the foreign minister here, he didn't go and attend that meeting either. So an indication that those countries, while they don't want to have any conflict with Saudi Arabia, they also don't want to be coming out and openly condemning Iran, because many of those countries are now allied with Iran, so not the same page there. The spark for all of these tensions in the region, and in particular in Lebanon, was the resignation of the Lebanese Prime Minister Saad Hariri. He resigned on air, live on television, but he was in Saudi Arabia when he issued that resignation, leading many to question exactly how free he was and whether it was his own decision or that of his Saudi backers. He's expected to return from Paris, his trip there to Lebanon, tomorrow evening, just in time for the Lebanese Independence Day celebrations. He will meet with the President Michel Aoun and ostensibly confirm his resignation. But there are those who say his children and his wife who has returned to Saudi Arabia. So how free is he exactly to operate when his family are still in Riyadh?
Analyst and commentator Sharmeen Nawani believes the rift seen at the foreign ministers' meeting in Cairo will only deepen in the future.
The impetus behind this meeting is a Saudi-UAE desire in particular to isolate Iran because they're losing thoroughly throughout the region, and not all Arab countries are on board. The big elephant in the room today is the fact that if Saudi money wasn't on the table, would these 21 members, now that Syria has been sort of marginalized from the Arab League, would these 21 remaining members even be at that table or feel that they had to show up? So I think Lebanon and Qatar and others who have sought not to engage their foreign ministers in this particular meeting is, I think, a sign of things to come, because the Arab world is not united on these issues.
We'll bring you more news right after this short break. Stay with us.